Since the beginning of Team Fortress 2, Scout's melee options have always been very interesting because of their diversity. However, one melee amongst the others is more deceptive with its stats. Their stats have much more meaning than what they actually say. And while it's not exactly a new topic, I would like to talk about the Basher, and why it's one of the best and worst weapons I've ever seen. The Basher has a whopping 2 stats. It deals bleed damage to those you hit, and it hits you if you miss, dealing bleed damage to yourself. The Basher is not as harmful to yourself as it is to your enemies, doing 35 damage plus bleeding over time, which is going to do 40 damage, so 75 total, compared to the 18 self-damage with 40 bleed damage, causing 58 damage total. But enough of that damage numbers stuff. How am I supposed to use this weapon? Well, for one, if you really think about it, if you never miss your throws, then it's literally just a direct upgrade. Sounds simple enough, right? What could possibly go wrong? Alright. Come on. Okay, alright. No! Come on! Please! Just give me one! Come on, please! Come on! Yes! Yeah! I got him! And that's really all the stats tell you. Now, let me tell you what the stats don't. That bleed penalty? Yeah, that one? Did you know that's actually an upside? The blade can actually make you jump higher because it gives you knockback. And you can do it twice to get even higher. But I don't recommend doing it 3 times due to it doing lots of damage to yourself. In fact, I don't really recommend Basher jumping at all because it removes so much health. However, it is really fun, so use it at your own risk. Also, make sure that when you do the Basher jump, you're jumping as soon as you hit yourself. That way you go even higher. It's impractical, yes, but who knows? Maybe one day, you can be the one to make it useful. And if I just ended the video here, this weapon would be a garbage weapon, no doubt about it. But there's one thing that changes this weapon from a solid C tier all the way to an S tier. But first, we gotta talk about the Medigun. Now, if you don't know already, the Medigun actually is a secret stat, where if you heal an injured player, the UberCharge rate builds faster. What does this have to do with a Basher, you say? Well, if you keep injuring yourself, you can infinitely build Uber at a fast rate.
I am fully charged!
But wait, you may be saying, finding a medic in a casual game is hard to find, let alone a competent medic that's willing to build Uber. Why would I build Uber? And to that I have to say, play comp much? Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about comp a little here, so if you don't want to hear it, go to this timestamp. Still here? Okay, good. Uber is very important and competitive because it's the most influential and powerful thing you can use. Guaranteed invincibility for 8 seconds can be game-changing for you and your team. Whether it means giving you the edge to push your team to cap the point, allowing you to live after a soldier bombing you, or if it just means that you don't lose a cap from the enemy team. Whatever your Uber situation is, the ability to have those options at a faster rate with the boss and Basher's Uber building abilities, say that 5 times fast, can make the difference between a win and a loss for your team.
Time has been added.
And yeah, that's it. Those are literally the only things worth mentioning when it comes to the Basher. So what's my conclusion? Is this weapon good, bad, or somewhere in the middle? Well, if you remember about 4 minutes ago I said, and why it's one of the best and worst weapons I've ever seen. So why is that? Well, in competitive, this weapon is amazing, and it's way more better than any other melee for Scout for Uber building alone. I sadly can't say the same thing about casual. I'll say it once and I'll say it again, the scatter gun is your melee weapon, and even when your actual melee weapon does extra damage, it just doesn't make sense to ever pull it out, unless if you're completely out of ammo. And in that situation, you better hope that you actually hit your shot, because if you miss, that's a lot of damage to yourself. The reason this is so bad is because you're not going to be building Uber with medics and casual, and it doesn't give you the utility the other weapons have. If you want to jump more without losing health, use the atomizer, or the winger, the soda popper, or even the force of nature. If you want to deal extra damage with your melee, not only at melee range, but also at a distance, use the rap assassin. If I must be honest, every time I equipped the basher to get the footage for this video, I tried so hard to find as many uses as I could for it, and I just barely got enough footage for this video, over the span of about 10 hours of footage. I swear, every time I equip the basher, I have to hold myself from falling asleep. My conclusion for this weapon is that it's really good in comp, and it's really bad in casual. Anyways, I'm Nerd Sauce, and that's a wrap.